What makes nuclear energy so powerful? Imagine a tiny atom holding a huge amount of energy, more than you might think. That's what makes nuclear energy so powerful. It all starts in the atom's core, called the nucleus, where protons and neutrons are tightly packed together. The energy is stored in the bonds that hold these particles together. When these bonds are broken or rearranged, a lot of energy is released very quickly. This is different from chemical reactions, like burning fuel, which releases much less energy for the same amount of material. Most nuclear energy comes from a process called nuclear fission. In this process, a neutron hits a heavy atom such as uranium-235. This causes the uranium atom to split into two smaller atoms, known as fission fragments. When this happens, a large amount of energy is released mainly as the kinetic energy of the fragments. This energy quickly turns into heat. Along with this heat, gamma rays and more neutrons are emitted. The neutrons can then hit other uranium atoms, causing more fission reactions. This creates a controlled chain reaction that keeps producing energy steadily. This process is incredibly efficient because the energy released per atom in fission is millions of times greater than in chemical reactions like burning fossil fuels. That means a small amount of nuclear fuel can produce a huge amount of energy. For example, 1 kilogram of uranium-235 can produce as much energy as about 20 million kilograms of coal. This high energy density makes nuclear power a very concentrated source of energy. In nuclear power plants, the heat from fission is used to generate electricity. The heat raises the temperature of water surrounding the fuel rods, turning it into steam. The steam then spins turbines connected to generators, producing electricity. This process is explained by the first law of thermodynamics, which says energy can change forms but cannot be created or destroyed. Here, atomic energy is converted into heat, then into mechanical energy, and finally into electrical energy. The second law of thermodynamics tells us that some energy is always lost as unusable heat during these conversions. But because nuclear fuel has such a high energy density, the overall energy output remains very large despite these losses. So, what makes nuclear energy so powerful? It's the enormous amount of energy stored in the nucleus of an atom. When that energy is released through fission in a controlled way, it can be turned into heat and then electricity very efficiently. This makes nuclear power a reliable and highly concentrated energy source for generating electricity around the world.